Hey, you guys, it's Denise Walsh, and I'm about to tell you a story that I can't believe I'm sharing. So, if you can hear me and everything's live and good, please put where you are listening from in the comments below. Here in Michigan, we have a whole nother snow day. So, I think in this entire month, we've had like 5 or 6 snow days already. It's been crazy. But I love to hear where you are listening from and just want to make sure that all the audio is working correctly. So, I can't believe I'm sharing this story with you because it's something that I think kept me turning. It kept me restless at night. Um, I would lose sleep. I I don't know if you have ever felt this way, but it was like I knew that I was ready for something new, but I didn't really know how to do it. And I didn't like the pivot part of leaving something to create something new. Although the new thing is exciting, the leaving part is hard. Yeah. So I'm going to tell you a story today about my first $20,000 launch that almost didn't happen, why it didn't happen, and how I finally got out of my own way to make it happen. And Lindsay's here. She is from Vermont. Welcome, welcome. Glad to have you live, Lindsay. It's always fun when people pop on live because we can interact and I see your comments. But if you are listening to the replay, be sure to put hashtag replay because I always go back and take a look at comments. And so, all right, so let's first talk about the things that kept me stuck. Several years ago, I was going through a pivot and it felt like Velcro. You know what I mean? Like, even though I was excited about what was to come, it was painful to make that pivot because there was loss of relationships, it was an identity shift. It was what are people going to see, think, do, believe about me? I mean, there was a lot of internal fears that popped up with making a shift, and it felt hard. It felt like a grief. You know what I mean? I think a grief is not just when somebody dies, it's when like we are making changes in our life and we have to let go of something in the past. A job change is a grief, relationship changes are a grief. Anytime like life happens and it's not going the way you expected and we have to pivot around it, that can increase grief. And so I was going through really like a grief process where I was trying to come to terms with the fact that I was ready for something else, but that meant I was going to leave my kind of past behind. And what did that really mean for me? And in this wishy-washy several years grief pivot period, I was afraid. I was afraid to post. I was afraid to say the wrong thing. I was afraid to do the wrong thing. I was afraid I was going to get in trouble. I was afraid of the way people were going to look at me. And it kept me in this second guessing, insecure, wishy washy state for quite a while. Now, I don't know if you've ever experienced that. So I want to hear from you. Have you ever wanted to do something but felt that second guessing spot too? And I'd love to hear how you moved through it. And so I stayed in this wishy-washy spot for a while, kind of one foot in the new thing and one foot in the old thing, trying to feel like see if I could do both at the same time, trying to see if I could kind of sneakily make a transition where nobody would notice and there would be no issues whatsoever. And then COVID hit. And when COVID hit, it gave me a permission to just take a step back from everything, right? I was like, all right, I'm going to be a mom. I'm going to homeschool my kids. I'm going to learn how to make bread. I don't know. And I kind of put my focus really on that. Now, if you are anything like me, that can be great for a while, but I knew that I had more to offer the world than just cleaning my house. And so I was like, all right, I got to get back in the game. Like I've got to just decide, am I going to go for it or am I not? Now, around this time, my friend messaged me and he said, all right, Denise, you need to plan a retreat. I've got a location for you. Get you back in the game and like go for it. And so I planned my first Stream Life adventure from several years. I had done them previously on cruise ships and things, but this was kind of getting back into the game. And so the first thing that I did to get out of the wishy-washy, indecisive space that I was in was, number one, I got something on the calendar. So I booked a retreat and then I had to fill it. And that's usually how business goes. We put our program out into the world and then our goal is to fill it. We put our retreat or event out into the world and then our goal is to fill it. And so I got it on my calendar and then I had to figure out how to pay for it and how to fill it and how to get people there, right? And so that truly got me back into action. But it was one other piece to the puzzle that created momentum for my business. And that was when I decided that in order to step up in the coaching world and create a program that I loved and to support people in this new way, I needed to be around people who were doing what I wanted to do. And so I joined a 2-year commitment coaching community where I was going to be around all different kinds of coaches, all different kind of entrepreneurial, levels. And I was going to learn the roadmap for making my dreams a reality. I had all these ideas, but I didn't know necessarily how to put it like one in front of the other. And so for me, this was me getting off the fence. This was me getting off of the like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, or fearfully is the word, fearfully posting and like being afraid of getting in trouble or something. I joined a coaching community. And with that came a couple things. Number one, the decision to say I'm going all in. I'm deciding. I'm no longer wishy-washy. I'm no longer in the fence. I'm no longer 1 foot in and 1 foot out. I'm no longer like half there, right? I'm going all in because I'm committed to it. I just put money where my mouth is. I'm making things happen. And now I have a roadmap and a community to support my journey. Within a month of joining that coaching community, I created my signature program, 90 Day U-Turn. Now, I don't think that program would have been created if I was still wishy-washy. I don't think that program would have created if I had 1 foot in and 1 foot out. It was the decision to go all in that gave me the desire, motivation, the like get over myself space to say, all right, I'm doing this. Now, Lindsay, I know you were part of one of the first initial 90 Day U-Turn cohorts. And now a few years later, we're not only running a new cohort almost every month, but we're also doing it with my nonprofit, Stop Suffering in Silence. And we are utilizing the content with trauma and trafficking survivors. And so one thing led to another. That first launch brought in $20,000, which paid for the coaching program I had just invested in. There's something that happens, you guys, when you decide, when you get off the wishy-washiness, when you get off the fence and you go all in and say, you know what, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it scared, and I'm not quite sure, and I don't even know necessarily what it looks like, but I'm going to put myself in a position to learn the steps and be held accountable to them. I did not know back then when I started 90 Day U-Turn, which is all of my favorite like exercises and growth focused content, helping people overcome self-sabotage and shift and heal through their limiting beliefs. I didn't know that it would lead to starting a nonprofit. I didn't know that it would lead to starting a certification program, because when people got through 90 Day U-Turn, they said, I want to do that. How do I do what you do? How do I create a space for people to have the same exact shifts that I just went through? I want to create this for my team. I want to create this for my clients. And so I leveled up again and I said, all right, I'm going to create the certification program to not only give you the personal transformation yourself through 90 Day U-Turn, but to also teach you how to teach it to others. And then we started doing that, and we had clients get certified. And then they would say to me, I don't want to recreate the wheel and create my own program. Can I sell yours? And I was like, sure. And so now they license out 90 Day U-Turn and they sell it to their own clients, and they're able to create their own businesses faster, start making money quickly, because they already have a program that they love, they understand, they've been through it themselves, and it catapults them into their coaching career much, much faster. Years later, you guys, that one decision to get off the fence has not only blessed my family and impacted, being able to do what I love during school days, right? Like working from my phone, working from my office, being able to schedule clients when it works for me. but it has ripple affected, and it has impacted every single person who's gone through 90-day U-turn and is now healing through and like releasing those tethers that have been holding them back. It has impacted and given another income stream to those who have decided to become a certified coach and level up in their skills. It has allowed me to travel around the country with Dream Life Adventures and connect with the clients and our coaches in a new, cool, like immersive way. And things just keep building. For example, this next year, we're going to plan, we're like brewing it right now, where all the Dream Life certified coaches come in and have a half an hour on stage to share their gift, their niche, their strategy, and like do a women's event hosted by Dream Life coaches. How cool would that be, right? One thing led to another, but I started having no clue on where it would end up. All I had to do was say yes, because I knew from experience that that still small voice was only getting louder until I took full action on it. And so me saying yes to the coaching program, putting myself in a position where I had accountability and a roadmap, gave me like the gutters, the fence, I guess. Like it kept me in my own game. And that's exactly what we do in the Dream Life certification program. Is you've had this brewing to add value to the world in a new way for quite a while, or else you wouldn't be here, right? Maybe you're a teacher, a doctor, a nurse, you're a mom, you have gone through your own hard stuff, and you want to work with people who are maybe 3 steps behind you where you used to be. But you don't know how to get your big idea out into the world. That's exactly what the Dream Life Certification in Business program does. We give you the content to, number one, level yourself up and heal and align your dream life pathway. We give you the content that you can immediately use with your own clients and create your own program. And we give you the business support to learn exactly how to generate leads and follow up and learn the business skills so you can be the CEO of your coaching business. So not only are you becoming an excellent coach, but you're also building a thriving business with new leads coming in on a consistent basis. And it continues to grow, and it continues to shift, and it continues to evolve as coaches get certified and they're like, let's try this, let's do this. And we are now a band of coaches who are all moving in the same direction, which means nobody is going to get lost. If you have had the idea of starting your own coaching business, or potentially you want to add new tools to your toolbox, so they say, and you want to learn about the dream life pathway, you want to overcome self-sabotage, you want to learn all about the mindset and fight or flight mode and how our body responds to trauma, all the things that we learn within 90-day U-turn in the clinical skills program, comment coach below, because this is what we do. We now teach coaches and leaders how to be excellent coaches and leaders and build thriving businesses. And in this year-long program, you have the time and the space and the accountability to follow through on that dream. So comment coach below if this is something you are interested in, because it's time to get off the fence, you guys. Like totally. It's time to stop being in wishy-washy land. It's time to start worrying about what other people are going to think or say when you post. It's time to go all in on that God-sized dream and make it happen for yourself. Facebook user says, I love that idea. Yes, the idea of taking the Dream Life coaches and we're thinking about online summits that we can give the coaches the space to practice, right? And again, build their audience. We're thinking about in-person events, potentially in Orlando, where like a women's event, where it's a 1 or 2 day event where women come to be filled and the Dream Life coaches get a space to speak. So much fun stuff is brewing and evolving, but it never would have happened if I would have stayed wishy-washy. It never would have happened if I would have stayed 1 foot in and 1 foot out. It never would have happened if I didn't start scared. And it was the decision to go all in, the decision to put myself in a position to win, the decision to be like, get over myself and go for it, that allowed me that first 20K launch. Whew. And with that came even more. So yeah, it's so much fun. It's so much fun. And ladies are within the program, they're creating programs for teens. and teen leadership. They're working with school districts and getting contracts with the school districts to add value to the teachers. They are working with foster parents. There's so many different niches being represented within the Dream Life Coaches, but the content is so foundational that like everybody needs that you can tailor it to any niche that excites you. So comment coach below if you want to learn more. The certification and business program is now open for enrollment for the next few days. So be sure to book a strategy call now so we can talk about your specific vision and see if I can support you in making that happen. Let me know what questions you have. Put hashtag replay if you're listening to the replay, and I'll see you guys next time.